Hi everyone, I'm Bandit, and I'm here with Arthur E. Benjamin and Farrah White. Welcome to For the Love of Dogs. We have another great show for you today. Bandit's got it all lined up.
He certainly does. Have you ever wanted to get involved in fighting for animals' rights but didn't know where to go? Well, coming up later in the show, we'll talk with two women with the Texas Humane Legislation Network. And they're making a difference in the animal community, and they're gonna tell us actually how we can help.
And if you're attending the Dallas International Film Festival, isn't that great?
Yeah.
You won't want to miss the premiere of the film Champion, and Farrah and I are going to tell you more about how we're involved with that film a little later in the show.
Oh, but
Oh,
first,
you're excited about
you have
Champion,
to meet
aren't you?
Lincoln first. And as well as our other guest, the Coppell Humane Society is celebrating a very special milestone this year. It's their 25th year of helping animals find forever homes, and it's a foster-only organization. So making it to 25 years is really quite impressive.
As is Lincoln's voice.
As is Lincoln's voice.
Sharon McMillian is president of the Coppell Humane Society, and Debbie Trask is a volunteer with the organization. Both are here to tell us more about this milestone.
Yes, and we already heard a little bit from Lincoln, but you'll have to tell us about him as well. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you very much.
And give us a little background on the
Yes.
Coppell Humane Society.
Well, it started in 1988 with two women who lived in Coppell. They wanted to find a way to help animals in the area, so they actually went to the shelter and would take animals out of the shelter, dogs, and go to a parking lot, for example, at a grocery store and try to adopt the dogs out to the public. And any dogs that didn't get adopted, they would then go back that night and take them back to the shelter until the next weekend. And in 1989, the organization was officially formed, and we're 501c, and now here we are 24 years later, and we are still fostering dogs, and we have actually fostered and rescued over 7,000 dogs and cats. We're also a cat and dog rescue organization, not just dogs.
Nice.
You know, and it's obvious she was 2 when they started.
7.
Right. Well, how wonderful. And to have made it 25 years is a tremendous feat.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of rescues, I think I heard somewhere, so I'm not sure how accurate this is, I think I heard somewhere at some point that a lot of new rescues that start up don't make it past the 2-year mark. And, it's an issue with funding and getting resources and foster homes and all those things, financial and non-financial, to be able to do what you intend to do. So we're very fortunate. We have a lot of donations and things, but we completely rely on those. So.
Well, most companies, for-profit and non-profit, don't make it past that very first year. It's the hardest year in any business, and it's especially hard in a non-profit business. So how many dogs and cats have you found homes for over the years, Bandit wants to know?
They said like 7,000.
Yeah, over
right?
7,000 cats and dogs combined. And
That's
it might be a little
amazing.
closer to 7,300 if I'm not
Nice.
mistaken.
So this year, how many will you?
Well, last year we did a combined dogs and cats about 163, so unless we get an influx of a lot more foster homes, we'll probably be right on track to do about 150, 160 again this year.
And has your mission
Impressive.
changed since you started?
It's probably become just even more of itself. It was two individuals when they started, and then the organization has really grown. So it's really fostering, getting animals out of the shelter, and we're wanting, if we are able to find the resources, to do more things to help people keep pets in their homes, especially with the economy the last few years. So that's something that our mission will probably evolve into in time.
And
So before we go much further,
yes.
we've got to really let him see Lincoln.
We do.
Lincoln
We
went to
do.
sleep
He's
as soon
telling
as
us
I
he
said
really
that.
wants
He
his
was
attention.
throwing the bone. Lincoln!
Lincoln, you can't lay down now. Now we're going to wake you up.
That's right.
So tell us his story.
Yeah.
Lincoln is 3 months old, and Lincoln and his 8 siblings and his mom were rescued from under an abandoned house in Dallas. And the puppies were only a couple weeks old at the time. And the group that rescued them took the mom and the puppies stayed with mom until they were weaned, and then the puppies went out to different rescue groups to be fostered.
And
so
Lincoln's about 25 pounds?
he is. He is. His mom was a shepherd, is a shepherd mix. My guess is Dad might have been a Rottweiler in Lincoln's case, but we currently have 3 of his siblings as well, and they are all ready for adoption this weekend.
Wow, so
They're making their
first shot
debut.
at a great dog.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Lincoln's available for anybody out there who would like to adopt a wonderful little dog. He plays well. Bandit's all tuckered out from playing.
And he's got 2 sisters and a brother as well, and they are fabulous, fabulous puppies.
And he's gonna get a little bigger.
Yes, I would think our best guess is that he will be over 75 pounds, 75 to 80 pounds maybe.
Look at him.
He's going to grow into those paws.
Yes, he is. He's very handsome. Look how sweet.
And he and his siblings will be updated on our Pet Finder page probably this weekend, so people will be able to look at pictures and get more information not only about him but about his siblings and all of our other dogs available as well.
Well, one look is all you need. You don't need to look at the pages. You're going to get a number and a website, and you can call and put your name on a list for Lincoln and his siblings.
Absolutely.
So do you work with other rescue organizations or partner with local vets?
Absolutely. For example, the people who actually literally pulled Lincoln and his family out from underneath that house is an organization called Duck Team 6. And we also work with, for example, another organization, Society for Companion Animals. We do some joint fostering with them. So there are definitely a lot of organizations. It's all cooperation. Like you're saying, any business struggles to survive that first year, and we have. And unlike for-profit, we tend to cooperate and work together and partner on a lot of things a little bit more in our industry.
And about how many foster families do you have?
Right now we have maybe about 12 active foster homes across cat and dog, and that is one resource that we can never have enough of, because we really, as a foster only organization without a shelter, we can't save any more animals than we have space for. So anybody who's interested in fostering should definitely go to CapelHumaneSociety.com and get in touch with us.
Fostering's amazing.
Well, and you have some pictures, right? Also of some of
Bandit's
your
getting all
other.
excited. He wants to be a foster.
He wants to be a foster.
You would be a great foster bandit.
And fostering is really, it can be difficult to let them go, but there are just so many animals out there, and then when you get updates and pictures from the families that have adopted these animals.
So who is this guy? This is Blackjack?
He's another animal that we have with us, a little, not very big, maybe a little bit smaller than Lincoln, and he's available, and you can see more about him on our website as well. And then Darby is one that just recently came into our organization. You'll be able to meet him at our adoption event this weekend. Pilot is oh my gosh, Pilot is a gorgeous dog, obviously, and he's very sweet. He's also available for adoption, and all of our animals have all gotten all of their vaccinations. They're up to date on everything. Everybody's on heartworm prevention.
Chipped?
Yes, and not all groups microchip. We feel that microchipping is worth it because that, accidents happen. Everybody, once or twice, something can happen, and we do absolutely microchip all of our animals as well.
But we should remind the audience, if your dog is microchipped, it's not a substitution for putting a tag with your phone number on your
Not at all.
dog, because they don't always find the chip.
Absolutely.
They look behind the neck for the chip, but it's not always picked up, and it's not a guarantee you'll.
And it's a lot faster.
Should always have a current phone number. A lot of people have phone numbers out of date.
Yeah.
You just go into a PetSmart, a Petco, there's a machine, you can get a tag in. In 3 minutes, it's a great thing to do. So if you don't have a tag on your dog, please tag your dog.
Absolutely.
And tell us
Or cat.
about, yes, especially
Especially a cat.
I was going to say, 'cause they're everywhere. Tell us about your event this weekend.
Well, it's actually an event with our one of the organizations that we do work with a lot. It's Society for Companion Animals is having a fundraiser this weekend on Sunday. Oh my gosh, I believe it's from 5 to 8 at the Sambuca Grill in Plano. And then we'll also be having an adoption event tomorrow at the PetSmart in Flower Mound. We'll also be at the Barnes & Noble in Louisville participating in a pet fair
Wow,
there.
you move around.
And then April 13th, we have another pet fair at the Marquee at River Chase Apartments in Capel.
And the event this weekend for the Society for Companion Animals is about taking dogs and flying them to
Yes.
places that they're wanted. So black dogs are not terribly well liked here, but they're loved out in the West. And so they move dogs around. Small dogs go to places like
Absolutely.
Florida, and it's
and
really
it's
good.
another way that people who can't do long-term fostering, they look for people who can take the dogs overnight the night before they go to the airport. So we do that within our group as well. So you
Nice.
have them in your home for a night before they go off to their
It's a
their
very
forever
short
homes.
commitment to completely change, if not save, their lives.
Their lives. It's so worth it. If you want to learn more about the organization itself, go to CapelHumaneSociety.com or email more info at CapelHumaneSociety.com. Thanks to Sharon and Debbie for being here with us today.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
very
us.
much.
And come out and see them at Sambuca in Plano, Sunday, 5 to 8.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to 2 local women and find out how they are helping animal rights right here in Texas. Stay with us.
My name is Teresa. This is Scooter.
My name is Amber. This is Duke.
I'm Dr. Dixon, and this is Annie.
I'm Emily. This is Jackson. I'm Kelsey, and this is Skittles.
My name is Miko. This is Chloe.
My name is Ty. This is Callie.
My name is Tamar. This is Simon.
My name is Renee. This is Snowball.
My name is Dr. Miller. This is Fletcher.
My name is Eric. This is Sport.
My name is Stacy, and this is Britches.
And I'm a pet lover first.
And I am a pet lover first.
Welcome back to For the Love of Dogs. There are animal activists, and then there are Yolanda and Shelby. Day in and day out, these women fight for the rights of animals here in Texas. Yolanda Eisenstein is the president of Texas Humane Legislation Network. Boy, that's a mouthful. And Shelby Boboski is the legislative chair. Welcome.
Thank
Give us
you.
an update on that legislative news.
Okay, well, THLN is on top of what's happening in the legislature this session.
That's a better way to say it.
Yeah, right, that's a little bit
Much
easier.
easier.
And that is our sole purpose. Every session, which is every other year, we are in Austin tracking all of the animal-related bills. And this session, there are, at least 50 bills that we're tracking that have something to do with animals. So there is always a lot to do. We're looking at bills that are pro-animal, and we're supporting those bills and lobbying for those bills, and then we're fighting the bad bills.
Well, before we get into what's on the agenda, let's just talk about how the two of you got involved with this.
Well, I'm an attorney, and I do animal law. And so through networking and meeting people in Dallas, I came across the THLN and joined their board. I've been involved with the organization for 6 years now. And it just seemed like a perfect fit, being a lawyer and being interested in the law. This is a way that I could use my expertise and knowledge to help a lot of animals as opposed to a case-by-case basis, which you
So
handle as an
if
attorney.
Bandit wants to sue somebody, you won't take the case.
Oh, who would Bandit want to sue?
Me?
And how
I
did you
don't
get
know.
involved?
Actually, Yolanda helped me get involved. I was a practicing attorney for roughly about 12 years, and she made a great case for me. I was starting to do rescue work. And she said, you know, Shelby, you can help these rescue animals right here and now, but if you actually go through the, I would say, legislature and work with them, you can effectuate change for thousands of animals. I thought, wow, that's amazing. I really want to get involved, especially with drafting the bills and looking and see what kind of laws are out there right now.
So in a thumbnail, very simply, how does it work? How does this legislative process work? A lot of people don't know how it really works. You formulate a bill. What happens?
Right.
Why do you formulate a bill, and then how do you get it through?
Sure. Well, what happens is, as Yolanda said, in Texas, the legislature meets every 2 years, and you've basically got 6 months to go ahead and get your bill through the House and the Senate, and then actually signed by the governor to make it a law.
Maybe talk about the gas chamber bill and sort of walk through that, and you can see the process that we went through with that and getting that
Sure.
legislature.
In about roughly November of 2011, we went ahead and we went to over 1,200 cities in Texas and sent them FOIA requests, which is a Public Information Act. We said, listen, are you guys using the gas chamber or carbon monoxide to euthanize your shelter animals? And we found that roughly about 35 shelters out there were still using this outdated and inhumane form of gas.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a big
exactly.
boo.
And what we found was when we actually talked to some of the shelters, they did want to change, but they didn't know how. So we found a sponsor for our bill in the House and Senate. Representative Eddie Lucio is in the House, and Senator Kirk Watson is the senator that brought the bill.
Two thumbs up?
Yes, 2 thumbs up for them, and they're very helpful for animals in the state of Texas. Actually, about 2 weeks ago, the bills have both passed through the Senate and the House. And so now they're switching places, but we hope to keep them in the House and go to the Calendars Committee and then have a vote.
That's wonderful.
And that would outlaw gas chambers.
Correct.
Completely.
That's right. There would be one way and one way only that you could euthanize an animal. It's through injection, which is the most humane way to do it.
Yeah.
So we're very optimistic. It's moving along nicely.
Right.
So we're hopeful that that will happen soon.
Speaking of that, in doing it by injection, is there a requirement to use tranquilizers with the injection, or is that up to the local shelter?
I believe that's up to the local shelters, depending on the temperament of the animal and the situation. So that would be up to the shelters and their policies.
Now tell us a little bit about Brinkley.
Okay.
Sure. Well, Brinkley was rescued about 3 hours before she was about to be put into a gas chamber. She's a beautiful brindle dog. She's great personality, and just one of those situations where she was an owner surrender. And a THLN volunteer from North Texas, Allison Almond, went ahead, rescued her, and now Brinkley is with a wonderful family. But she is the face of over 15,000 dogs and cats that were put down by gas in 2012.
Oh.
So she is kind of the spokesdog, so to speak, for the bill.
Oh yeah, I just saw a picture of her. So is there anything that we can do or the people watching can do to make a difference? What would you suggest?
Absolutely. Anyone who cares about animals needs to be following what's happening in the legislature, because we have over 50 bills right now that we're tracking, and a lot of these, if passed into law, will result in significant changes. So what I would suggest is go to thln.org. That is our website. Sign up for our action alerts, and we will send you an email anytime something happens on one of these bills that you need to take action. Go find out who your senator is, your representative is, and get on the phone with them, call them, write them a letter, and say, I support animal welfare bills. You can find out the bill number on the certain bills, like the gas chamber bill is?
It's House Bill 858 and Senate Bill 360.
You can go to Texas Legislature online and you type in HB and whatever the number is, and everything related to that bill will come up. Who the senators are, who the representatives are. So I would urge anyone to get involved, because it makes a difference. When you call and you're a constituent, they listen. So it's very important.
So let's get a couple of updates on some other bills. I think that would be great for our audience.
Okay.
Theft of a pet felony.
Right.
Dangerous dog appeals.
Yes.
Licensing and regulation of retail dogs and cats, and roadside vendors. Those are the kind of things that we'd really like to hear about.
Okay.
Sure. Well, regarding the pet theft, it would actually, the bill would have make it a state jail felony. So it would raise it from a misdemeanor. And I can't believe how prevalent this is in North Texas, but with all the different breeds out there that are so expensive, we have a board member and her neighbor had a Maltipoo stolen from the front yard about a week ago.
So
and
sick.
And the kids have not at all slept. It's a very sad story. So this would actually raise that. Once again, to use Yolanda's example, if you're a constituent of Senator Corona and you want this to pass, call him, explain the bill, and say this is something we really want you to vote for.
So anybody who has a pet that they don't want stolen should make that phone call.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dangerous dog appeals. This is what is known as a technical fix. Right now, depending on what city you're in or what court you're in, you may or may not get an appeal if your dog is declared dangerous. This is not right. Everyone in Texas should be allowed an appeal for dangerous dogs cases. So that's what this is about. So it's very important that you make your voice heard. There's also a bill out there to regulate and license retail pet dealers. This is a bill that's fairly complex. It's very similar to the puppy mill bill. And so we're tracking that, following that, looking at the good things, the bad things about it. But you can also weigh in on that.
See, that's so important, and we've had so much talk of puppy mills and putting an end to all of that. So I love the regulation and the licensing. If you want to learn more about the Texas Humane Legislation Network, go to their website, thln.org, or check out Yolanda's website, Animal Law Office, at animallawoffice.com.
And on the THLN website, you can find out about all of the bills and where we stand. When we come back, details on how you can see a movie close to our hearts at the Dallas International Film Festival. So stay with us.
And you guys, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Welcome back to For the Love of Dogs. The Dallas International Film Festival kicked off this week with a lot of fanfare, and the Arthur E. Benjamin Foundation and the Larry Hagman Foundation, the Dallas Film Society, and Look Cinemas opened the festival with a screening of The Croods for more than 100 students from DISD. Arthur, tell us about this partnership. How did this come about?
So Larry was one of the great people that I've met in my life. I consider him one of my mentors. It's been a half dozen. And Larry taught me that no matter how famous you become, how well known you are, how wealthy you become, it's the people who are around you who made you that, and don't forget it. He never said, I won't give an autograph. He never wouldn't do a fist bump.
Yeah.
He just had the love of his audience. And so when it came to the film festival this year, I said, yes, we'll sponsor the film festival again and do opening night, but only if it's in memory of Larry Hagman and in partnership with the Larry Hagman Foundation. So we had 200 kids with Bandit, and he was much more popular than I was, and they had a great time with the Croods.
Yeah, well, and both of you guys share a love of helping children and introduce art to children.
Yeah, it's about educating the children, especially of our inner cities, who don't get the opportunity to be educated on the arts, film, and many other things in education. So our foundation does that, his foundation does it, and when I was at the Hagman Foundation event at Lisa Blue Barron's home, Lisa was just terrific, and I bought a painting that Larry signed, and it all sort of came about, and then Larry passed, and we had to do something to keep him in our hearts and minds.
Well, I love that you did that, and I've heard Thursday night went fantastically.
It did.
And what are you looking forward to with the Film Fest?
I'm hoping to relax and see a few good films. I saw Kon-Tiki last night.
Oh, good.
It was the best foreign film I've ever
Nice.
seen. It was terrific, and everybody should see that. And I'm looking forward to seeing the full cut of Champion, because I haven't seen even the outtakes yet.
Yeah, we're looking forward to screening Champion. The first screening is actually tonight, and then the second screening is on Saturday, April 13th at 2:30 p.m. at the Angelica Theater.
And she was the producer.
I was, and he was the executive producer.
And boy, is she hard to manage.
Listen, yeah, and we both have small parts in it, so it was a lot of fun.
Yes. Bandit didn't have a part, but he managed me from the back.
That's right. So now let's take a look at the trailer for Champion.
I got my orders today.
Serve our country.
You can stay. You can stay. Give your mother's old room. I got chores for you. She was a good cattle dog. She practically trained herself. Her and Magnus, They became a team, and then Magnus London died a few months ago. And she's been useless ever since.
Do you think you could, like, show me how to train her?
Can't you tell that I need some of your attention?
Climb, target.
By the way that I flirt and bat my eye.
You can't have Scout as a pet.
Why? You have Ace. Why can't I have Scout as a pet?
That just ain't how it goes in the country.
Why?
Because everyone's got to earn their keep.
I don't know why that dog likes me so much.
She sees something in me.
Scout's not a cattle dog. She's a champion. And the Youth Trainer Challenge is next month, and that's what I've really been training her for, and I think that she can win.
Let's see it.
Hooray! Sound of clapping.
Exactly.
That's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks to Sharon McMillian and Debbie Trask with the Coppell Humane Society, and Yolanda Eisenstein and Shelby Babowski with Texas Humane Legislative Network, TLHN?
Yes.
No, THLN.
That's right.
That's it.
Remember to keep up with For the Love of Dogs online at AmericanDogRescue.org or follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
For all of us here at The Love of Dogs, For the Love of Dogs, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.